When I became principal of Miami Northwestern, my immediate challenge was teacher quality. I wanted to find teachers that believed in our students. It was a major concern. When I got here in 2011, and before, because I was assistant principal before I became the principal in 2011, there was a mindset, it seemingly to me, that teachers did not believe in our students, and we were looking for those quality instructors that believed in the student and believed in our students' accomplishments. And that was the biggest challenge I faced. I think there might have been a culture here before I got here 8 years ago with my predecessor, the former principal, where the teachers didn't see the success of the students, and the students came in. Many of them were struggling learners, and they needed assistance, they needed support. The data says when you have struggling students, the one thing that can change that around is quality teachers, and that's what the data reflects. If you have the instructor that could push, that can drive, that can motivate, that can inspire, that could change the mindset of the students, normally those students begin to perform based on the expectation of the instructors. I think some of the biggest changes I've seen since I've been the principal from the time that I've gotten here to now, I think the students' attitudes are very different. I see students now that are really concerned about the academic performance. Many of them, they bring you the report card, they let you know how their grades are progressing, they have conversations about academic success. When we first got here as principal, I noticed that the students with 3.0 or higher were 10% or less. Now we have like 30% of our student population or more, close to 40% that have a 3.0 or higher GPA. I think the education effect was really impactful because it provided us an opportunity for our students to be in the dual enrollment program, which for them to be in that program, they needed to have the GPA, and I saw that as something that has been impactful since I became the principal. Well, the education effect was funding that we got a seed grant from JP Chase about four plus years ago. It was for $1 million, and it was to go ahead and commit to a community-assisted school working with Florida International University. And that program ramped up our dual enrollment. It began to help us with a culture here where students had accesses with FIU they didn't have before. If you looked at the number of students before we had this partnership, there was a handful of students going to FIU, and the handful was mostly football players. You may have had 1 or 2 students that went there academically. Now you have 20 or more students over the last 4 years that's been going to FIU, many of them part of the Golden Scholars Program, that are going there based on academic performance and what they did in high school and taking those dual enrollment classes as students of FIU before they became a full-time student at the university. I think one of the big goals have not been achieved. I think we've got to dig deeper. We've got to reach out to our feeder pattern middle schools. I think our feeder pattern middle schools are the backbone. They're the ones that are going to go ahead and help us to make sure students are better prepared when they come to Miami Northwestern. We've been working with Education Effect. We started seeing a little movement over there at Brownsville Middle. We've got to go ahead and reach out to Drew K through 8 to make sure we also have a footprint, a presence there with Education Effect. And we also got to do an outreach to Lily C. Evans K through 8 to make sure that there's also a footprint at that institution. And I've got to find a way to collaborate with those principals at those 2 institutions. We work hand in hand to support one another so their students who are eventually going to become our students are successful academically. And that's one of the main things that I think we fell short, and I think that's an area that we need to improve in. I think they need to be better prepared, but I think we have to assist. I think there's some resource that we can bring to them to help them. One of the things that we're going to do with these programs is we're going to send students to go, some of our high performing students are going tutor. We want to have those students with a mindset when they're in the middle school, look, when I go to Miami Northwestern, it's not just about getting a high school diploma. It's about me going to college, university, or if I want a military route, or if I want a career, that these are the options that I need to prepare myself for. So we've got to have them set their goals much earlier. The biggest day at Miami Northwestern as principal was when I got a call a couple years ago from the superintendent. And I didn't know it was him at first. I thought it was maybe my brother pretending to be the superintendent of the school, but it was the superintendent. He called me and said, Mr. Aristide, for the very first time, Miami Northwest has made history. It's an A school. That was a proud moment. I didn't sleep for days. I think I was so happy, and the students were so ecstatic. They were just walking around thanking me as though I did all the work. But like I told our students, you're the ones that took the test, you're the ones that took the assessment, you did all the work. I'm just here to be your cheerleader. And I think that was the biggest moment for me, because I saw what it did for our students. I saw how it changed their attitudes. I saw our students walk around with a different type of swagger, and it was tremendous. It was the FCAT. It was the grading criteria where they improve in the graduation rate, where they improve in college readiness in math and reading, where they made a tremendous stride in taking classes in the area of certification industry. We made a lot of progress there. We made tremendous jumps in reading, where we made double-digit gains. We made tremendous jumps in mathematics, another double-digit gain. We were #1 in the Education Transformation Office in science. And I saw tremendous work by our students in U.S. history. So all those assessments coming back, and the data validated the hard work that we had put in and the work that our students have been doing. There's been a change of staff. When I first got here 8 years ago, I would say over my first 4 years, my predecessor, who I worked closely with, there was 120 teaching openings every year. For 4 years, I would say that 30 teachers were looking at other options instead of Miami Northwest. And so we got an influx of a whole bunch of brand new teachers, mainly Teach for America teachers. In TFA, we have close to 40 teachers that were part of TFA. You have people that are core members now, and you have alums that have been here for 4 years at Miami Northwestern, and just them walking in and having the attitude and believing that our students could succeed has been extremely helpful. And our veteran teachers that continue to put in the work, that continue to support and assist our students for many years, have also had a major impact in the progress that we've made. Well, I think for 60 years we have been a beacon in this community here in Liberty City. I think Miami Northwestern has always been the focus. If you walk around and you wear something that says Miami Northwestern, people will greet you. They'll be happy to see you. They'll say that's Miami Northwestern. So Miami Northwestern is that school, that shining light in Liberty City that so many people adore, admire, people that have graduated from this institution. And you have many people that don't live in the area anymore, that continue to find a way, if this child has the ability in the medical performing arts magnet, that they continue to attend and become students. So the alumni support here continues to be tremendous. We're going to have many celebrations. I know we're going to have one August 9th at one of the churches that started here 25 years ago. That's going to be big. There'll be a roll call the first day of school, where you'll have alums coming from the class of 56 to the class of right now, and they will do a roll call. They'll wrap their hands around our students and let our students know that at Miami Northwestern, the pride, tradition, and excellence continues at this institution. There's quite a number of celebrations. I know alumni are having a big celebration at one of the local, I guess, hotel or resorts, where they're going to meet together and they're going to celebrate. I did talk about the opening of schools. That's going to be a major celebration. There's going to be something for our fallen bulls, the ones that are deceased, that are no longer here with us. There's going to be something on Sunday, August 23rd, in remembrance of those people that have added to the pride, tradition, and excellence of this institution.
Is that going to take place here?
It's going to take place, the location has not been determined, but it'll be determined shortly. And when we get that information, we'll make sure we give it out to the community. Well, I think this school represents the community, because so many people that live in this community went to school here, and their children continue to go here, and you have grandparents that have children that go to Miami Northwestern. I think a lot of times people in the community, when they're looking for leadership and they're looking for people to give support, direction, guidance, help, they tend to look at Miami Northwestern. And I think it's been big because you have people that went to Miami Northwestern right now, and I've got quite an influx of folks that graduated or alums of this school that are coming back to teach. And they're coming back to teach. Some of them have come from the top college universities. We've got a young lady that's going to be a teacher this school year. She's graduating from Harvard. I've got people coming from Columbia. I've got some folks coming from FIU, University of Miami, you name it. All throughout the country, students that were from this community that went to this institution, they want to come back and they want to give back to their school. That's why I think it's a major fabric of the community. Wow, there's so much history of Miami Northwestern. I mean, I'll start with this first and then I'll go to some other areas. Miami Northwestern, when I say has done a lot in this community for the past 60 years, when it comes to athletics, it's been major in athletics. You have athletes that have been first round draft choice in the last 2 years that were students here at this institution. You've had people that have done tremendous athletic accomplishments. They've had teams here that won championship, not just in football. You had basketball, you had baseball at one time. You've won, we've had an accomplishment of a girls track team that has won 11 championships over the last 15 years. It has been amazing just what we've done athletically. But let me go into something academically. You have a congresswoman, graduate of Miami Northwestern. 2 board members, graduate of Miami Northwestern. You're talking about judges, graduates of Miami Northwestern, lawyers, doctors, people that are top in the military, people that are top in the religious areas. So many areas throughout this community that you've had bulls, people that have graduated from these institutions that have tremendous accomplishment, that have impacted Miami-Dade, that have impacted the state of Florida, that have impacted this country. And you had people that I think on a global level that have made an impact that graduated from this institution. So what an accomplishment for one high school here in Liberty City, Florida. Tremendous. Well, I'll add this. FIU, under President Rosenberg, working with Superintendent Cavallo, what they've done to come in this institution, to bring some resources, to allow people to work with our students for the past 4 years is not only amazing. I could just see it sustained from moving forward from here on out. So I'm truly grateful as the principal just to be able to make this connection, to be able to work with a university such as FIU, and to work with a school district that understand that this partnership brings about the change that our young people need. So I'd like to say that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Miami Northwestern, I'd like to congratulate you on 60 years of pride, tradition, and excellence. Let us continue. I know we talk about the past, the present, and forever. Continue being Bulls. Thank you.